Welcome, Poke People. This is Professor Evergreen of the Green Bay Slackers, and for any of you who have been watching any of our past videos, you know that we were in a GBA-style drafting tournament with some friends of ours, but that tournament unfortunately had to come to a close before we were able to actually finish it. There was just a lot of people who had other things going on. You know, life happens. Basically, hopefully you enjoyed those videos, but we are not going to end up having a finals or anything like that with that. But in the meantime, I have found a different league. It's called the IPSL. It stands for the International Pokemon Showdown League. And they do have a branch for playing on the Game Boy called IPSL ORAS, which of course is Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So I have joined that, and I have brought the Green Bay Slackers over to, and it's the same style. It's the same GBA style drafting format, and you can already see in this video right here, this picture, these are the Pokemon that I have drafted for my team. So we're going to go over them real quick to get a little heads up, and then we are going to be coming out with team builder videos and battle videos for this league as we progress through it, hopefully getting to finals and be able to take that down as well. So let's go ahead and go over our drafting team. So a good thing to note is when I did draft, I was joining at the beginning of a season, but after the draft had already been done and they needed some replacement people to cover some people that weren't actually able to play anymore. So there was a lot of Pokemon already drafted when I joined, and I was given Pokemon that was already drafted for the team I replaced. However, I was able to then get rid of any Pokemon I didn't want and draft anything from the remaining Pokemon that fit in the tiers from what I wanted to get. So these are the Pokemon that I ended up with, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy with my team overall. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with our Mega Absol. Mega Absol is very fast and very powerful. It's not the fastest Mega out there. It's actually a tier 2 Mega instead of one of the tier 1 Megas, but I would honestly say it's the best tier 2 Mega. In my opinion, it's the best tier 2 Mega. It can definitely hit very hard, and it's got a base attack of 150 and a base speed of 115. So just right there, without even getting a Swords Dance up, which it can use Swords Dance, but without even getting that up, it is already hitting very hard. It even has priority stab with Sucker Punch. It gets the Pursuit attack, which is also stab in case anything tries to escape on it. The Magic Bounce ability, bouncing back Stealth Rocks and Leech Seed and Spikes and all the other kind of hazard stuff. Will-O-Wisp, anything like that. Magic Bounce. Honestly, Mega Absol is very good. Probably the best tier. And I wanted to get a tier 2 Mega because, one, of course, my favorite tier 1 Megas were already taken by the draft in this point, but also because you get a few more points if you take a tier 2 draft Mega, and I wanted to be able to get some more higher up point-wise mons at the end of it for my free agency. So I went ahead and went with the tier 2, so that way I can help compensate it by getting more tier 3 Pokemon at the end, as opposed to just a bunch of tier 4s and 5s at the end. So anyways, the next Pokemon we're going to go ahead and talk about is Gothitelle. Gothitelle is one of the first Pokemon I decided to get. I saw that it wasn't drafted at all, and the thing about Gothitelle is, while it's not that strong, that Shadow Tag ability, literally just that one ability, it's so good. Being able to trap your opponent's Pokemon in and they can't get out, even if it's something as simple as, you know, holding them in while they're poisoned and sitting there and protecting and resting, or being able to get a really big hit off of something that you want to kill that otherwise would be very threatening to your team, but you could trap them in there and get that one hit that you prepared for. Because the thing about it is, Gothitelle with the Shadow Tag ability isn't even necessarily that great outside of a drafting tournament format, but in this format where you get to see your opponent's team and what they have coming, it can be very, very beneficial that you can plan for a Pokemon that would otherwise give you trouble, have the appropriate moves on there to deal with them, trap them with Gothitelle, and then just take care of them without them being able to switch out. Because again, being able to switch out is just so valuable in a tournament, especially one like this where you get a plan ahead for your opponent's team. So I nabbed Gothitelle first pick before I ever picked anything else. So I started with that base, Mega Absol and Gothitelle, of course. We got the Rotom Wash next. Now this is one that was already drafted on my team, and I decided to keep because Rotom Wash, honestly, it's just so good. It's got great bulk. It's got a great typing. The only thing that Rotom Wash is even weak against is grass, because it's also weak against ground, but it has the levitate ability. So basically, its only weakness is grass, and that's it. And of course, besides that, it just has very good bulk. It has very good stats for defense and special defense, base 102 for each. Decent HP base, and of course, being able to volt switch in and out, very good. Rotom Wash, definitely a great pick there. The next Pokemon we're going to talk about is Metagross, one of my favorite picks. Now, this was not already drafted on my team. I went and picked it. I'm surprised no one took it. Honestly, Metagross is one of my favorite Pokemon to draft terms like this, period. Because the thing about it is, and if you've seen any of my older videos, you know that I had Metagross in my last tournament as well. It's so versatile. I mean, just looking at its base stats, HP, base 80, you know, not amazing, decent. Attack 135, great. Defense 130, great. Special attack 95, average, but still able to be a special attacker. Special defense 90, also with an assault vest, pretty decent bulk there in special defense as well. Speed is only 70. Not that great of a speed, but with all the bulk and the option of making a Choice Scarf with the base 70 speed, you can get up to Choice Scarf levels where that speed is doing something for you. This Metagross is so versatile. Its move pool is so good. It has so many different types of physical attacks and special attacks, and it can set up with agility or rock plush, and it hit really hard on either side with the attacks or special attacks. But you can also go bulky. You can go bulky in defense. You can go bulky in special defense. You can use stealth rocks to set up hazards. It's just so you can do so many different things with it. It's hard for your opponent to plan around it when they don't know what kind of set you're going to bring. And I very much like picking Pokemon with very versatile sets where the opponent can't fully 100% plan for. Speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and talk about this next Pokemon here, Nidoking, another Pokemon that I feel is very versatile. With the Sheer Force ability, it does have a stronger attack stat than special attack stat, but with that Sheer Force ability and the move pool it has, it can go either way, especially putting a Life Orb on there, not taking the recoil from the Life Orb with the Sheer Force ability. You could be doing a lot of damage from the physical or the special attack side with all the moves that Nidoking can learn. It also can go defensive. It can set up Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spikes. It's just such a good mon to not. The opponent's just not going to be able to plan for it as well. It can be Choice Scarf. It could be Choice Specs or Choice Band, because it can go either way. It can be Life, or it's just so good. Nidoking is so good. Then we're going to go to Dugtrio. Not a lot of bulk, obviously, but one of the fastest mons out there, really. With a base speed of 120, Dugtrio is nothing to laugh about. It is a very fast mon. Very few mons out there can outspeed Dugtrio. And on top of that, just like Gothitelle, it's got Arena Trap, which stops all Pokemon from switching out as long as, they're not flying or levitating. But again, something that you can plan for in a tournament style like this, where you can plan ahead and know what mons you want to send in and take out with that Dugtrio, something that cannot fly, cannot levitate, and be able to trap in and just be able to take it out. It's just so beneficial. And it's nothing to laugh about with its attacks that either. Be able to do Stab, Earthquake on things that can't switch out because they're not flying and not levitating. So much damage. And being able to put like something as simple as a Focus Sash on there in order to be able to live a hit, or even a Choice Scarf or a Choice Band, depending on what your opponent has, to either outspeed or just to do as much damage as possible. Dugtrio was definitely a good pick. And another one that I brought over from the last tournament that I did that I wanted to use again. Now the next another Pokemon I want to talk about is Armaldo. Now Armaldo is not as great as some of the other Pokemon that I have drafted. Of course, it is a lower tier mon. However, still being able to be pretty bulky with a defense stat of 100, having access to Rapid Spin, Stealth Rocks, and even a base attack of 125. It can hit pretty hard. Now, the thing about Armaldo is I didn't want to rely 100% on Blastoise to be my rapid spinner. So I wanted a secondary rapid spinner just in case, so that way I don't always have to just bring Blastoise whenever I want to counter hazards. So I wanted my option out there, and it never hurts to have something else that could set up more hazards as well, and can take some hits, as well as, again, base attack of 125 is nothing to laugh about. I can see myself putting a Choice Band Armaldo and having an unsuspecting kill on an opponent who is expecting Armaldo just to be completely defensive. So that's why I went ahead and grabbed Armaldo. But let's go ahead and talk about Blastoise for a sec, since I also grabbed him. He is definitely one of the best rapid spinners out there. He's no Excadrill, but he still can be very bulky. Blastoise is, and honestly, even just with the rest ability, it's not as, the rest attack, it's not as reliable recovery as most good bulky mons have, but still, Blastoise is one of the mons that I can see working with rest and its bulk and having rapid spin available. And even in a pinch, you can use it to be an attacker, unsuspectingly too, but Blastoise is not that versatile, but still one of the best rapid spinners in the game, so I went in and picked him up. But let's talk about Emboar for a second. Let's talk about versatility. This mon, oh my goodness, this mon, it can take hits. It's got a base HP of 110, a base attack of 123, a base special attack of 100. It is just a wall-breaking beast. It's got a great move pool to help support its high attack and special attack set, so it is going to be breaking walls on both sides, as well as with that reckless ability for its attacks that do recoil damage, even doing even more damage. This thing could hold a Choice Band, Choice Specs, or Life Orb, and be dishing out a lot of damage. It may not have a lot of speed, but it has access to things like Sucker Punch, as well as being able to still outspeed the slower mons out there. Again, meant to be quite a wall breaker, so it is definitely good to have against those slower mons. Now we're going to our last two Pokemon. First of all, we got Scolipede, who honestly is an underrated Pokemon overall, I feel like. Its stats aren't that great, but that speed boost ability, after one or two speed boosts, it can just outspeed pretty much anything. And the thing about it is, after a Swords Dance, or even with its just base attack set, base attack set is just 100, but this mon can hit quite hard. This is another one that can be a wall breaker, or even just a set up sweeper. On top of that, it also has access to things like toxic spikes or even just regular spikes, so you can, even while it doesn't have the greatest defensive stats, use it as more of a supporting role. And again, these are the kinds of things that when you have mons that seem like they do one thing really well but are able to do another thing, and you do that other thing, it can be very surprising and beneficial against your opponent because they won't see it coming. And I expect Scolipede to be doing a lot of work this season. And last but not least, we got Alakazam. Alakazam with a great special attack set of 135 and a great speed stat of 120. Obviously not as high as its Mega form, but what it lacks in that, it actually makes up for with being able to hold a different item. Honestly, I think Alakazam with the Focus Sash is better than a Mega Alakazam without one, because there's so many moves out there that just one-hit KO Alakazam and Mega Alakazam. And the thing about it is, being able to usually outspeed something and then also have a Focus Sash on top of that, Alakazam can get off some major hits and take out some major threats. It is a strong mon. It may not have the biggest move pool, but it is still a force to be reckoned with, and something that the opponent knows that they need to watch out for. So this is going to be our team for the Green Bay Slackers this season. Hopefully we will make it to the finals, and hopefully you will cheer us on. So this is Professor Evergreen of the Green Bay Slackers slacking off for now. Look forward to our videos coming up, and I'll see you guys next time.